Hey guys, I'm Melissa. I'm a second year history student at Keble College, Oxford, and today I will be talking about what kind of stuff I get up to in a day. So I will be talking about what my course is like, what kind of stuff I do, how I hang out with my friends, any other interests, that kind of thing, and I look forward to it. So before I head off, here's a very quick tour of my room. This is an average second year room at Keble. I live in college because we get 3 years accommodation. It's a nice view, I get to look at the marquee. This is my desk, this is where I will be studying most days. This is my little sort of kitchen / vanity desk area. I have a lot of my cutlery, my pantry stuff is in there, along with my mini fridge that college provides and my microwave. And this is my lovely bathroom. I have an ensuite, as do all second years at Keble, I think, well, most of us. And that's my room. So I'm just walking to the Radcam now, Radcliffe Camera, and that's the landmark of Oxford. And I like to go there to study because a lot of the books on my reading lists are there, and I like reading books sort of in person, like physical books rather than online books, just because of eye strain. And sometimes I'll go with my friends. Obviously we don't talk, but it's nice to do library trips as a way to spend time while studying. I'm just reading a chapter from a book that was on my reading list. I'm taking notes, and this is for a class. This is sort of how I'm going to spend my morning before I head off to lunch with my friends. I've just left the library. I got about an hour of work done and I'm off to a tutorial at Oriel College. It's interesting that sometimes you get to have tutorials at different colleges. It's nice getting out of college and going somewhere different. So yeah, that's going to be about an hour long, and I'm going to come back and probably go back to the library. I'm back in my room, and right now I'm dealing with one of the other things I do in college besides my degree, which is Keble at Large. I'm the president of Keble at Large. What it is an access and outreach society that's part of Keble. We try to demystify Oxford, we try to do what UniReach does essentially, but within Keble, and we try and make the whole process of application, coming to interviews and actually settling in here if you have an offer. We try to make all that all the more easier and just try and tell the truth of how it is, because there are a lot of myths about how Oxford is like and the people who are here, and not all of them are true, and we don't want to scare anyone off. So it's part of the reason why I'm doing this. And right now what I'm doing is I'm waiting for some people on my committee who help run the organisation. They're going to come by and pick up the camera we have and the memory cards so we can film some cool videos, and hopefully they should be up on YouTube fairly soon, so check out Keble College Oxford for some of those. And I would say that takes up a couple hours of my week. It's not a lot of work, but a lot of people around Oxford volunteer with these kinds of charities and organisations, and the fact that so many of these societies are student run is really exciting, because who knows access and being at uni better than the actual students. So it's definitely a worthwhile thing to do, and I really enjoy it, and it's stuff like this I think that made my application process much easier. This is the dining hall at Keble. It is the longest hall in Oxford. Ooh la la. And we're here for lunch. I'm back in college and back in my room. I've just come back from my tutorial, which was at oral. I thought I'd do some more reading in my room before I go to Friday night dinner that is held by the Jewish Society. My friend is president. She's invited me to come join them for dinner. That should be really fun. But before that, I thought I would talk to you guys a bit about history of Oxford, what kind of course it is, what it entails, what I get up to, that kind of thing. So it's a 3-year degree. I'm in my 2nd year right now. The way that it works is in your first year you do a British history paper, European and world history paper, and then an optional subject. And what that means is a more specialised, more specific paper on a specific area of history that you get to pick, and that's sort of when you get to have a taste for more specific topics and you're not boxed in by geographical or period requirements. That's really fun. And then you do your end of year exams, which are called your prelims, and then you move on to your 2nd year. My 2nd year has been about the same, so a British history paper, a European world history paper, and then a further subject and a special subject. So those are similar to your optional subject in your first year. They're more specialised and more specific papers tailored to specific interests, and those are really interesting because you get to interact more with primary sources, you get to have more agency in what you study, how you study, what sources you use. You get to interpret those sources yourself rather than reading about what other historians have written. That's really interesting. And then this term / this year, I'm also be thinking about and starting to write my thesis, which is my big essay, about 12,000 words, about anything I want really. That's really exciting and it's really interesting and I really look forward to it. The good thing about history at Oxford is you start off with really good structures in place, a really good foundation. So your history of the British Isles and European and world history papers really give you a sense of the breadth and depth of history. It gives you a sense of certain geographies, and with that sort of foundation laid down, you can really think about where you want to go with that and what kind of specialisms you want to go into. Or if you don't want to specialise in anything, you can do a bunch of really random papers and just see what you like. That's also perfectly fine. History at Oxford gives you so much agency, I feel like, after your first year at least, to really go for it. And that's why I'm really enjoying what I'm doing this term. It's a course called Gender and Protestant Cultures. So it's about Reformation England and how gender and theology interacted at that time. It's really cool, really interesting. Definitely not what I learned about A-levels, and the difference is obvious. It's very clearly more specialised and more detailed history at university, but it's not as intimidating as it sounds. It's really fun and you really get a lot of variety. If you're worried about the difference between your A-level classes and university classes, I honestly wouldn't put too much stock into that, because you will learn all the skills you need to learn in your first year. And if you love the subject enough, if you really enjoy history, then there's nothing to be afraid of. It's basically all tailored to your interests, what you make of it. So highly recommend it, and I'm gonna get to doing some studying. I thought I would just show you how I take my notes and sort of what it entails, what note-taking even is. So on one side I have the text that I read from. This was on my reading list. I found it online, and these are the notes. I like to take notes on Google Docs because I know that everything is saved automatically, which is good if, like me, you have a tendency to forget to save things. And it's nice having it all in one place. It makes everything organised. All my class notes are in one place. And yeah, everyone has really different note-taking styles. None of it is wrong. It just depends on how you learn, how you like to do things. I take quite comprehensive notes because I like taking quotations. I like having specific information I can easily find because obviously, there's a search function. But yeah, this is sort of the work I did. I'd say it's a decent amount. It's nice to work in small increments because, if you have a really big chunk of text, like this is 64 pages long, it can be quite tiresome to do it all in one go, and, it's good to not let work take over your life. So yeah, that's how I would take my notes. I just got back from Friday night dinner. It's quite dark in my room, so apologies for the lighting. It's evening now, so this is probably the end of my day. But thank you so much for following. I hope this was helpful. I hope you learned a bit about what an average Oxford student's day looks like. This was really fun for me, and yeah, I really hope it was helpful for you guys. And otherwise, thank you so much for following, and good luck with the applications, and yeah, thank you.